Hey y'all, welcome back. Hey y'all. Going into any workspace, I'm always open-minded. I always try to think the best about people, think positive thoughts, always wanting everybody to succeed, because if we're working together, if you succeed, I succeed. That's how I look at it. And there's room for everybody to succeed. Your shine does not take away from my shine, because I believe we all have different talents and different skills and different assets that we bring to whatever table that we're coming to. With that said, sometimes your mere presence might make somebody feel threatened, because maybe you are coming into a new workspace and there's already a culture, a work culture that's already in place, and you're coming into that space. Needless to say, I'm going through a situation where I'm working with somebody who has made it abundantly clear that they do not like me. The very moment I came up into that space, you know when somebody makes you feel like you're literally this small and you're like the scum of the earth and they don't want you to be around? That's literally how I felt. And for me, because I understand that not everybody is going to be your friend, it's still my duty and my responsibility, I feel, to still be friendly. Regardless of what you give me, I'ma give what is within my character to give. So no matter what you do, no matter what you say to me, my goal is to stay true to who I am as a person. Actually, I'm continuing to obviously still be friendly and still trying to work on creating a positive workspace for not only for myself but for everybody else around. Because if you have an issue with one person, that person gonna go talk to somebody else, and then that person's gonna want everybody to be on their side, and it's gonna be back and forth, and it's gonna make other people feel uncomfortable. And I don't feel right making other people feel uncomfortable based on how somebody else feels about me or an issue that they have with me. So initially I just let it go, because I'm hoping that it will sort itself out, because some people just don't like you for whatever reason. I'm like, maybe they'll get to know me, and then maybe they'll realize that I'm not a threat, and I'm not coming for you, I'm not here for you. I got things I want to do, you got things that you got to do. So you do you and I do me, and we do it in the same space, but we're not stepping on anybody's toes. So I'm ignoring or letting it go, letting it slide, letting things slide. And then it gets to a point where you start to feel paranoid. Then it's like, is it because I felt that tension that I'm hearing it, or is it that that person said it? So for me, I normally have to hear it several times before I believe that that's what it is, because I want to still assume the best in people, right? Because there's some miscommunication that happens. So in this case, several people, different people, came to me at several times with basically the same statement, saying this person has said this about you. That's all hearsay. And my first question is, what was the context? What was going on? And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what were you saying? But anyway, my focus is, okay, I've received the information, so now I'm just gonna marinate on it, just let my mind process it. To top it all on, I actually hear the person talking negatively about me, and talking about me while I'm there, knowing I'm there. And I start to think like, okay, is this person trying to make me go crazy? Trying to make me feel like I'm crazy? Because I can hear you. Because when a person is angry, they don't realize that their voice carries sometimes, right? And it's crazy to me that somebody would feel so strongly about my person. It starts to feel like a personal attack. So it was at this point in my particular situation where I decided I need to sleep on this, I need to pray on it, and because if I respond with what I initially want to say or do, then it might not be helpful, right? It might be counterproductive for me to do that. At the end of the day, I'm a Christian, and so for me, I do believe that if you have a disagreement with somebody, it's important for you to bring it to their attention, whether or not they're Christian or not. I give them an opportunity to either change their behavior or show you something different if they see that it's a problem. So after praying about it and fighting the flesh, you know what that means, like, you know, your spirit, the Holy Spirit that lives inside of me, wants me to do right, and it's telling me to do the right thing, which is speak the truth in love without condemning somebody and without passing any judgment towards that person. Because I feel like I would want the same to be done to me, because maybe that person is unaware that you're aware. Whether they're doing it intentionally or not, it doesn't matter. For me, I ask God to please give me the words to say, because if I use my own words, they might not be so kind, because while I am a Christian, I'm still a human being, so I still am a sinner, and in my sinful flesh, in my sinful self, I might say or do something that might cause a different situation to arise. Then for me, in order to safeguard myself and to cover myself, I made sure that there's somebody else present who could then be a witness and attest to what happened. And ask them directly, is there a problem? If there is a problem, what is the problem? Person said, I don't have a problem. There is no problem. So I communicate and express what made me think that there was a problem. I hear you actually speaking to other people about me, and I don't appreciate that. And I would appreciate that if you have an issue, please come to me and speak to me directly and let me know so I can correct myself in whatever way that I'm going wrong. And prior to that, that person was verbally abusive towards me, screaming and yelling at me without just cause, as far as I was concerned, because there's never a situation that should make you scream and yell at somebody without you coming and talking to them in a normal voice. And if they've chosen not to hear you, can't control what happens after. But anyway, so after that verbal abuse expressed the way that I felt, when you were screaming and yelling at me, you made me feel this small, and I don't appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, I'm a grown woman, not a little child. And if my parents cannot talk to me or do not talk to me that way, they brought me into this world, you definitely have no right to be talking to me in that manner. So I don't appreciate you talking to me in that manner, and out of respect, I don't speak to you in any kind of manner that's even close to how you speak to me. And I would appreciate you to do the same, because I don't appreciate your tone and the language that you're using towards me. So at this point, person apologetic. I'm thinking we've cleared the air, everything's all good, everything's gonna be cool. So yeah, I was feeling good about myself. I'm like, yeah, good job, yeah, you got this. So fast forward, it lasted for a week or two, and then everything went back to being the same. But at this point, when you start manipulating the situation and asking people to tell me what to do, then we don't have a problem. Why do we have a problem? Because I don't like being manipulated, I don't like being used, and I don't like being abused. And just because I do not say something to you and how I feel, because if I were to say how I feel in that moment, it might not be Christian-like. I choose to sit on it, pray about it, and let God move me. And in the many situations, what I've heard is just to be quiet and to let it go. Because I believe that ultimately a person's character will show itself up no matter how hard they try to cover it up. What I mean by that is, if your character is such that you are a negative, don't allow for positivity to be around in any situation, people will see it for themselves. And while I might like other people to see it sooner, sometimes it takes a long time for other people to see it. And in those moments, I felt like God was speaking to me and teaching me something about myself, about patience, and about exploring myself and my character in those moments. Because how you respond to people tells a lot about who you are. So in as much as I would like to respond in a very petty way and be petty and act petty, the Holy Spirit convicts me. I mean, I might let a few comments slip here and there because the spirit is willing but the flesh is weak, okay? Sometimes as much as I would love to let the Holy Spirit flow and work through me, sometimes I find myself maybe saying a couple comments and it's too late for me to take it back. Sometimes I express myself, and in expressing myself, I let it go. And in expressing what I'm feeling, I'm not attacking the person, but I'm expressing how I felt in that situation and how that person made me feel. My goal and mission in work is to die to petty. Die to being petty. Okay? How can I allow somebody to have that much control over me? And I'm like, you know what? This is either a test of God to show me my character or to strengthen my character. And in this case, I choose to say that maybe God is trying to teach me how to deal with certain mindsets, because there are people that are not gonna like me, not because of anything I did per se sometimes, but just for the simple fact that my mere presence makes them feel uncomfortable. And even if it is something that I did, if you never bring it to my attention, then I will never know that you have a specific issue with me. And I'll always be wondering and guessing what that issue is until you actually tell me. I've decided at this point that for my own peace of mind, it would be better for me to remove myself from the situation. And I'm looking at the clock every 2 minutes trying to figure out, is it time to go home yet? Is it time to go home yet? And that ain't what I'm trying to do. Ain't nobody got that kind of time. Nobody got that kind of energy to invest in any one human being for all that negative energy. So yeah, I think in this case in particular, I've become a slave to this person's presence, because my actions are sort of guided by that person being present. Like, I honestly avoid being in the same space or being alone with that person, but I'm still cordial. But at this point, I am so over it and I am ready to be up out of there. But I'm just gonna cut down the hours I spend for my own peace of mind and yeah, for my sanity, because at the end of the day, ain't no one person gonna drive me crazy just because they don't like me. You don't like me, that's your problem. I ain't gonna make it mine, okay? You can run tell that. I'ma continue to die to petty, okay? Die to petty, 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 die to petty. On that lovely note, I hope you learned something from this. And if you are having some problems at your workplace, tell me, drop some points and pointers for me, because I'm always willing to learn. How do you deal with workplace issues? How do you deal with conflict in a workspace? What should you do? What should you not do? Let me know in the comment section down below. Down below. Down below. Down below. And be sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, because I appreciate all your comments. Thanks for rocking with your girl. Yeah, thanks for following Life with FaGee, and also check me out at vid.me, and my channel is FaGee, because there are some issues with this YouTube thing that are kind of going on and they don't seem to be getting resolved. So until then, see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya. Appreciate ya too. See you next time. See you when I see y'all. Peace.